None of these 100 men know who will die, who will get injured, and who will be the final reaching there. But all 100 will follow and will go together. For me, it is the first factor itself. The moment I step into the battle, no plan survives the first bullet. If you know about yourself, if you know about your enemy, you need not to worry about the result of 100 battle. If we go 10 orders down the chain, and again when we reach battle, none of them work. So what do? I adapt at that. So when I shifted from army to corporate, it just took me 3 months to adapt to this new situation. No other organization asks from a leader so much as a military asks. They eat together, they train together, they play together, they dance together, they pray together, even loo they go together. And in the end we say, we never leave a man behind, dead or alive. Pran jaye par vachan na jaye. I can't be slimy character. I can't tell him do this and I'm doing something. So I train my people so much that it become instinctive.
Invite Major General Dr. O.P. Gulia, SM, VSM to the stage. Thank you, Mr. Gulia, for being here. Major General O.P. Gulia was commissioned, this is a huge biodata in terms of the quality, and I would like to read this. In the Indian Army in December 1984 and retired after a meritorious career of 37 years. So you don't look that old at all. You look half of your age. You could continue for another 20 years and do a good job. He has been awarded the Sena Medal for Gallantry and Vishishta Seva Medal for Distinguished Service. We have a rank of a medal here. We're very happy, sir. Thank you so much. We feel very proud. General Saab has served in the counter-terrorism operation in J&K. Do you carry a pistol still? So we can't go wrong with you. All right, sir. And all the 7 states of Northeast, which is one of the most difficult areas in North State. Have you traveled to Aizawl? Have you traveled to Guwahati? You would realize how difficult that area is. I know Rajat was there for a long time, right? He was under the commandment of over 18,000 troops and was responsible for 400 kilometers of border. Thank you very much, sir, for keeping us secured. Over to you, Charu.
Thank you. My next set of questions is on leading human beings, not processes. So my question to you, General Saab, is soldiers don't simply follow orders, they follow leaders. They trust. How do you build trust, confidence, and commitment in teams when they know that they are actually walking into uncertainty?
You see, you rightly said that when my men are walking into uncertainty with me, how do I build the trust that he walks? Just to emphasize that it is not uncertainty, it is a certain death he is walking with me. I just give you an example to make this little more elaborate. I was just talking about that hill. There is an enemy sitting on that hill. He's equipped. He's got weapon systems. I line up my 100 men on that night out here, and I say, I have to go and capture this hill. It's dark night. Everyone is prepared. When we'll start climbing the hill, he's being fired at. The artillery shells are coming on him. 30 to 40 out of these 100 guys will die before reaching there. Another 30 to 40 will get injured. And only lucky 20 or 30 will finally reach there. Or sometimes even don't reach there, they have to come back because opposition was too strong. None of these 100 men know who will die, who will get injured, and who will be the final reaching there. But all 100 will follow and will go together. It's dark night, one can sit down somewhere and in the morning he comes out and he says, I was with you. No. Think of a situation when you ask your even brother, okay, boss, there is someone firing out there, let's go and take care. How many times he'll go with you? And these men come from different walks of life. So now, how does he do that? How do we do that? We build a trust, as Charu says. Now, how do I build that trust in that man that he goes with me, putting his life at danger? No other organization asks from a leader so much as a military asks. I ask that man to give his life to me. So the trust he has to have in me. So the biggest factor in this is this leader, me, who is leading him. How do I develop that? The first thing we do is lead by example. I always ask my men to do what I should do, what I can do. This example I set not just for a few hours in the office. I set this example 24/7 when I stay there. I don't know how many of you know, the combat unit is made of 700 men. All these 700 men stayed together the day he gets recruited till the time he retires. 20 to 27 years These 700 bodies stayed together 24/7. They eat together, they train together, they play together, they dance together, they pray together, even loo they go together. So we know each other so well. As a leader, I can't afford to poodle fake that man. He has to know I have to be upright always, I have to be straightforward, only then he'll follow me. He sees me 24/7. I have to have that courage, the moral courage during peacetime, the physical courage. He sees that every day. I have to have that famous thing, pran jaye par vachan na jaye. I can't be slimy character. I can't tell him do this and I'm doing something else. He's watching me. He's looking at me 24/7. I have to be morally upright. We say no moral turpitude. I can't be looking left and right and then ask that man not to do it. Corruption. In this combat unit, you can never think of a corruption because he looks at you, he will not follow you in war. So these are the things by which I develop the trust in that man. He has that. And in the end, we say, we never leave a man behind, dead or alive. He knows it well that if he's injured, I'll get him out of the battle. If he's dead, I'll get his body out. I'll give him the last rites which he deserves. And once he's gone, I'll take care of his family. You would have seen so many examples of this. That is how we build this trust.
Question goes to you, General Saab. In military operations, waiting for complete information can mean losing the initiative. How do you make life-critical decisions when information is incomplete, uncertainty is high, and there is no second chance?
Jai Hind to everybody. Charu, you rightly said that there is no second chance in battle, or we say there are no runners-up in war. You get one chance and you have to win that day. If you don't, then you're gone. The lives are at stake. Now, in these kind of situations, how do we take decisions? The information, as you say, is never complete. Whether it is corporate or in army, the information will never be complete with you. So how do we go about it? And for us, it is even more difficult to get information about enemy because he is hiding everything from you. So basically, there is a very famous scholar called Sun Tzu. He is a Chinese scholar. He wrote a book long back called Art of War. And there he emphasizes on information. And he says, if you know about yourself, if you know about your enemy, you need not to worry about the result of 100 better. That is the importance of information. Now, how do I take decision in lack of information? How do I go about it? So basically, we adopt 3 principles: the know, decide, and adapt. How do we go about it? First is the know. Know is basically the information. The information we generally divide into 3 parts: must know, should know, and could know. Must know is the one I must get that information without which I can't take a decision. Something like all of you know the Kargil war. There are 10 hills, 10 peaks. I must know this is the peak enemy has occupied. That much is important. Sometimes when I don't get this, I even put my life at danger. I'll expose my men in front of those peaks so that I draw fire from him, so that I get to know that this is the peak he has occupied. So I take a decision, must know, based on must know information. Then I go about should know. How much ammunition he has, what weapons he has, how many mines he has laid. That is the should know information. That's why Sfed Sagar, some of you would have seen, we send those aircrafts, we put them into danger, but get to know how he's deployed there. And then comes could know information. This is applicable across the board. Could know means who are the person who can help him during the time of war. So without it, I can still take decisions. When these 3 things are there, I get to know this, and then I go deciding about the particular plan. How do I make that decision? We go very structured. Right during the time when we have plenty of time, we analyze a situation in great detail. You can do it in corporate also. We list factors. What are the factors which are important? I analyze those factors. In this case, what is my aim? What are the terms of reference? What restrictions have been put on me? Should I cross the LC, not cross the LC? Should I employ the Air Force or not? The third thing is ground, most important factor to me. I analyze the complete ground, how enemy will take advantage of it, how will I deploy myself. Time, how much time is available with me. So I list these factors like that and then analyze how enemy will do, how I'll do. Whether that information is available or not, I'll still analyze those. And then I draw the courses of action available to enemy. What courses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, based on these factors, how will he fight this battle? Based on that, then I draw my courses of action. That's the options you call it. Each option of his will be countered by my own best options. And out of that, then I adopt one option, which is the best option I feel, and I go with that. And when I go with that, the third factor is adapt. As Preraji said, that no plans survive these days. Disruptions are so much. For me, it is the first factor itself. The moment I step into the battle, no plan survives the first bullet. It's not a golf game that I hit the first shot, second shot also I'm hitting, no one is disrupting me. It's a tennis match. I hit a ball, from the other side, he is responding. So I have to now respond. So I have to adapt this. We go in great detail called contingency planning. As much as we put effort in making a plan, so much effort is there in contingency planning. We go 10 orders down the chain. And again, when we reach battle, none of them work. So what do? I adapt at that time. I keep 100% reserve. I line up 100 men for the first battle, there are 100 reserve. In corporate, you also, when you say share, investing in share, you say never put all eggs in one basket, diversify it, and still keep some cash. So I keep my gunpowder dry. Whenever it's required, I apply that. That adaptability is so important for all of us. Today also, when I shifted from army to corporate, it just took me 3 months to adapt to this new situation. And this is one factor which is written in my annual report also. The boss writes how adaptable I am. So that's the importance of adaptability, and that's how we take these decisions and go into the battle.
My question to you, General Saab, is military organizations spend years preparing for situations they hope that never happen. How can business build the same level of preparedness without becoming slow or bureaucratic?
You see how the preparedness comes. Basically, I look at two things. It comes from the resources and the people who are handling those resources, means training. You can provide the resources based on your capacity, but training you can certainly enhance or not. So the most important factor in this preparedness is, I call it training. You train a person so much that he starts taking the decisions instinctively. Have you ever thought about it, why army carries out the parade or drill at Kartavya Path? Army does not need this drill in the battlefield. I don't have to do this circus in war in front of the enemy. So why do I do this? Why do I emphasize so much on this? This is the what I call instinctiveness. When he says tej chal, the left leg will go, everybody is forward, right hand will go forward. So I train my people so much that he become instinctive. That is what I mean by training. You know how much an army officer gets trained in his lifetime? No other service, whether it is the civil services or corporate, trains its men so much. Before I get commissioned, I train myself for 4 years. I become an officer, immediately 6 months I'll go for my arms training. After 5 years, I go for a combined training for 3 months. At 9 years, I go for a staff college. 1 year, it's a college. I put on CVs, I behave like a collegian, 1 year. At a colonel, I do higher command, again in Mau, as a colonel, as a college. Then at a brigadier, I again go for National Defense College in Delhi. 8 years in my 37 or 30 years, I have got trained structurally. So we train so much that when time comes, I take those decisions instinctively by men. Similarly, when you say, how does this happen in corporate, I can just say 2 things. Don't be the man of process. Don't write those big manuals or SOPs. They are good during the time of training. But you train that person so much. We call it a directive style of command. As Sandeep ji said, you just tell him that this is what is your mission. You give him the resources, what he needs to complete that mission. You tell him his role, that in this mission you are supposed to do this much. Then you train him on that. Thereafter, you give him the authority to act or react when situation comes. Then you don't have to bother about these manuals, SOPs and all. He will react at that time when it is needed. And where you as a leader has to concentrate is on those critical factors. 4-5 critical factors होते हैं हर life में, हर organization में. Like when I look at it, if I give you an example, when a tiger comes and does the hunt of a bison, bison is a big bloody huge animal. He'll toss him up if he comes closer. But the tiger clings on his neck out here. And he hangs on for those 2-3 minutes because he knows finally he'll fall. That is the critical part of that organization. You have to save that organization. If tiger goes to the leg, the tail, the ear, doesn't matter to bison. So these peripheral things, a leader doesn't have to concentrate. You concentrate, find out those 3 factors, concentrate on that, let your men tell them the role and do the rest. That is how I prepare and don't follow the process.